Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to another trading session. Well, it is Thursday. Yeah, the end of the week is quickly approaching. So tomorrow will be Friday, the last day of the week, and the last trading day of the week as well. So I hope you're doing well. I hope your week is going well as well. And yeah, let's get straight into the charts, and let's see how things are developing in these first couple of minutes before before the market opens. I mean, it's just 1 minute left at this point, but yeah, we already have seen a push here. But let me zoom out a little bit first, just to give you an idea about what I'm expecting here for from price action. So so we have previous month's high some relative equal highs here, which we can see them on the 4-hour chart. That we have them. We have some other here on the upside as well, but these ones are pretty clean here. So, and at this point, price is really trying to stretch to the upside. If we zoom a little bit in here, if I go to the 15-minute, which is a little bit more clean here, we have consolidation in Asia, eventually a manipulation lower inside London, and now we are trying to distribute a little bit higher. So as long as we sit above midnight open, as long as price that doesn't come below midnight open, I believe we are still heading to the upside, aiming for these relative equal highs and eventually previous monthly high as well. But on the other side, or on the other hand, if price just starts to display lower, getting below 8:30 open and midnight open, I believe we can clearly see some downside here towards eventually previous day low and at least London lows as well. But as long as price just holds in here, it's right now trying to get outside of this shaded box, which is a big N walk where price has been constantly trying to get outside of it. It tried here, it tried here, it came here yesterday with yesterday's high, and it's now trying to do the same. So if price really can't stay above this 100% here, I believe we will eventually go higher. Otherwise, if we manage to close inside of the N walk once again, then we can eventually move lower because there's still some liquidity here below midnight open. London lows would be interesting to see as well, but in general, I'm still bullish. But I need to see price staying at least above 8:30 open, because if we start to displace lower, eventually trying to lose 8:30 open, then I would say that we will head lower and eventually try to retrace some of this move to the upside that we made yesterday. What do we have here? We have this grid here that you can see, these quadrants. These are referring to the weekly wick that we are right now working. I will show you here. So right now we are working this wick. So I divided it into quadrants, and now I'm expecting those quadrants to be respected. As you can see here, price moved to the upside, but was not able to reach for the last quadrant. Here we respected the midpoint of the quadrant, of the weekly wick, but yeah, we kind of failed here, which is a sign of weakness here. So let's see what we have here, and let's see if we can work with something here. So I will mark the 9:30 open. Price is really aggressive today, as I can see here. NQ moving quite fast to the downside, and we kind of lost. This might be a fake out to the upside here on ES. So if we stay below midnight open, I believe we can eventually see London lows and eventually price going lower. We have no news. So I believe this is a pretty simple lecture here, or a pretty simple read, I mean. but we still need to see some retrace. So let's see if price really starts to retrace here. We have this first presented fair value gap. Price trying to reach for 830 open. We still have London lows. But let's see if this was just a manipulation to the downside just to continue to the upside. So pretty heavy opening here. But as you can see, price is staying above midnight open. So at this point, I will take the short idea out of the table. We kind of went for the bottom of this quadrant as well, but we kind of ricocheted from it. The price was not able to reach for the first presented fair value gap once again. So at this point, NQ already took out London lows. Yes, still have them. Let me just take a look at the regular trading session. So we closed the regular trading session gap, the opening range gap. Yeah, this for a run here was quite suspicious right from a pre-session. This is always suspicious to me. But the question is now if we continue delivering higher, so London lows are taken, or if we continue a little bit lower from here. If our price is in between 8:30 open and midnight open. So let me take a look at NQ just to see Where did it stop? Hmm. So price came back to the first presented fair value gap here on ES. And it's apparently it will close above 830. So at this point we have a rejection at the last quadrant of the NWOG. We have a rejection of the midpoint of the wick. Rejection at midnight open as well. But I just don't like how price is respecting the first presented fair value gap here with displacement. Nice displacement here once again. It seems like we will head towards London lows here on ES, especially on ES, because ES has not taken them out. So apparently we will have another fair value gap here, a bearish one. Let me take a look at the regular trading hours just to see, because we still have sell side here to be taken out on the regular trading hour session. Here as well. Well, so far we are holding midnight open. Let's see for how long. Mm. So this would be a trading idea here because price is not able to close above midnight open. So resisting to it. Yeah, nice displacement here. Kind of light. Yeah, I should have taken this entry here. So we took the immediate rebalance here on the wick. Still have London lows, so at this point, I believe we will head towards London lows. Hey, brother, what's up? I'm sorry, I was just focusing on the charts and did not look at the chat. So at this point, the NWOG is holding price a little bit here. But there we go, nice displacement towards London lows. At this point, I will probably break even myself here, since we took a late entry. So let's see if price can really spool towards at least the midpoint of that NWOG. So at this point, I would like to see this portion of the NWOG act as a resistance to price. So far, price was not able to close above the midpoint of this NWOG, so let's see if we can stay below it. Yeah, price coming back here. Yeah, and we got taken out this late entry here. Break even. Seems like London lows was enough for price. We are inside the macro as well, so let's just see. So I knew that I was taking a late entry, and if London lows was enough for price to run to, it would eventually mark a reversal. So let's just see. Yeah, but price is not going for midnight open. Yeah, we will take another shot here, since this might be the order block that price is forming. So at this point, I would like to see price stay below that end walk and not coming back above it. Let's see. Let's just see if price has some willingness to go lower from here. So once again, Wicks telling, body's telling the story, and Wicks doing the damage here. Let's see if we can see some more follow through to the downside, at least reaching for the midpoint of this analog. We are still inside the macro, so it should deliver. Yeah, we are. Price is taking a long time here. Not quite liking this, honestly. So at this point, yeah, I better protect myself because I'm not liking how price is taking too much time here. So I prefer to stay out from this. We are inside of the macro, so there is no reason for price to stall in here if we would like to see lower prices. So it can be at this point, since we already took out London lows, it can be cooking some sort of a reversal here. So that's why I decided to protect myself and just got stopped at break even. Yeah, that's my second attempt to short this. The first one got stopped out with this retrace. Otherwise, I would have still be in the trade. But I'm not quite liking how NQ is presenting itself as well. So it's like accumulating right now. And I'm kind of afraid that we are building some sort of a reversal here. And that's why I decided to get this off. And so far, it was the best decision here, because right now I would be praying for my stop to not get hit. So tricky session so far. The moves were pretty quick. We took 2 attempts already, but they were not that clean as we would like to see it. And since price is now stalling a lot here, taking too much time from me, I decided to just take it off and yeah, wait for a better opportunity, or eventually just to see what price really wants to do, because at this point it can revert from here, because we are near the midpoint of that analog. We already took out London lows. We are inside of the macro. price has not been able to lose this analog efficiently. So yeah, it can be a slow build to the upside, but I'm not sure. And since NQ it's somehow accumulating here for the next couple for the last couple of 20 minutes, I just don't like that. So what about you guys? Have you done anything already? We took two attempts to short this, but yeah, really no follow through. First one was here. It got 1 minute of follow through, then retraced back, got stopped out here. I knew that I was protecting myself a little bit harshly, but yeah, I decided to do that because I knew that I was very close to London lows. And now I will just wait. If we have the opportunity to engage with something else or with a continuation lower, I will, but this to me, honestly, it's taken too much time, and I've burned myself too many times in these types of situations to expect something good from it. Let's see. So yeah, at this point, I would really be praying for my stop not to get hit. Seems like price is having a hard time to lose that analog, the analog from this week's price action. Shall this be the continuation to the downside? Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, it seems like it. But honestly, I'm not liking how NQ is really delivering price action right now. So I better stay out for now. Yeah, there we go, the follow through. Yeah, we really took a long time here. Too much for me. The read was fine, but hey Javier, how you doing today? Yeah, I took two shorts here, but they both got stopped out at break even. I was looking for a continuation lower. I believe this was the pre-market Judas swing, but as you can see, price took too long here, and I was not comfortable with it, and I decided to cut it off. So I don't see any follow through on this move to the downside. Honestly, we just wicked here, came back inside a range, and this is happening inside of a macro. Yeah, this is kind of an odd environment for me, honestly. Unless we do some sort of a reversal type of setup now, but I'm not sure. Not a big fan of this price action, honestly. All this back and forth and these wicks, I'm not a big fan of it. So this will be just like an empty macro. And usually whenever we have an empty macro at 950, and if we do have an empty macro at 1050 as well, then probably it will be a post 11 this distribution delivery. I mean, yeah, you took a long with this displacement, probably, right? Yeah, but there was a lot of relative equal lows here. Now I can see a reversal coming because at this point, I believe this is just time distortion. This piece of price action is just time distortion. It's price is just collecting sell orders, just like mine. So I can see a lot of people trying to sell this, seeking for lower prices, and then eventually we will go back to the upside. because on the upside we still have a lot of liquidity to be taken. And I really, if I haven't seen this piece of price action prior to the open, I would say that I was bullish, because we have some some relative equal highs here. We were working above 50% of that weekly wick, and yeah, and now the reversal is somehow coming. So it seems like the reversal is coming here, but at the same time, I don't like how NQ is, how that bottom on NQ is just formed. I feel like NQ needs to do something like this, but at the same time, we might have some sort of a SMT. Yes, I'm up this week. Yes, I am. Slightly up, not a big number, but yeah, I am. Yeah, but it seems like the reversal is coming here. We still have midnight open, 8:30 open. They can act as a resistance here. Yeah, seems like it's working. Yeah. The only problem here for me, I just didn't long this because I'm not liking how the bottom was formed on NQ. That's the only problem for me. Yeah, it seems like NQ is going for another run lower. Yeah, I'm glad I did not long this. Yeah, harsh environment here since 9:45. There's not much to do here, honestly. This would have been this entry here would have been the cleanest one, the retrace to the fair value gap. The only problem here was that I saw a rejection at midnight open, and we were above midnight open, 8:30 open, so it could happen that we would have gone for another run to the upside. But now we have the displacement lower. There we go. Yeah, if I have held this trade here with my stop above these highs, yeah, that it would have worked out, but I would have been in deep drawdown. So don't feel like I missed something here. What kind of liquidity do we have here? Still have these lows, previous day low as well. Yeah, it kind of sucks when you know the direction of the market, but you got stopped out twice. Yeah, very harsh environment, this one here. Even for those who are short now. Well, if price really comes above here once again, this will definitely be an order block, a bullish order block, and we will head to the upside. So now we got the reversal. So NQ really needed to take out those lows that I did say that I didn't like. Uh, so I'm glad I did not rush into anything. Yeah, price leaving everything open here. So what about you guys? Are you longing this? Looking for the volume imbalance. Only problem here is that we are outside of the macro. And NQ went from directly to buy side liquidity here. But yeah, I believe this will somehow work. Unless we are in a day where price is really thick and it will stay here for a while. Looking at the 15 minutes, we need to do some sort of a V-shaped recovery here. But so far we are hanging above this head walk. we reclaimed it back. We reclaimed this fair value gap once again. So yeah, this, I would say that this has everything to work out. So there we go. So now let's see if midnight open doesn't act as resistance. Yeah, you are longing this, right, Javier? This is your type of setup. Yeah, I guess it has everything to work out. Oh, you already hit CP1. So you took the long, probably around here, an aggressive long. I see that you take aggressive entries. You have a more aggressive approach to the market than I do. I'm usually not the first one to enter a position. I'm not that type of guy that presses is the first one to press the button. I usually tend to wait for something, and I tend to miss a lot of trades as well. I know that. Yeah, there we go. Price will probably fly from here. I'm glad I decided to leave my bearish narrative here and not chase it. Mm-hmm. Small size, but it doesn't matter, honestly. Yeah, but this was the cleanest setup so far. So we have a fair value gap here that can eventually serve as an entry since it's above midnight open. And it's above this quadrant of that NWOG as well. So if price really comes here for a retrace, it would give us some sort of an entry. I was just checking the equilibrium of the range. It's slightly below this fair value gap. Yeah, this one was fast. God damn it. Should have placed a limit order. Yeah, we'll probably not have a second chance here. Yeah, that's the problem when I'm looking into two charts, because I was looking into NQ, but oh well, kind of happens. No second chance here. That's a shame. But yeah, 830 is kind of acting here as a resistance. So price might stall here for a little bit. probably hanging in between 8:30 and midnight open. That's what usually happens. For a bullish continuation, we just don't want to see price coming below midnight open. I guess I will buy a small one here. Just 3. So yeah, here are eventually these relative equal highs here. What time is it? 10:50. So I hope this does not end as another reversal at 10:50. That's why I'm playing a small size as well. So the chart is quite crowded right now. So midnight open, I will stretch this one here, this one towards here. These are just reference points. So I'm expecting midnight open to hold. Otherwise, I'm wrong with this long. Yeah, not quite liking this retrace so far. Oh well. Yeah, I guess I was too late for my entry. So we displaced once again below midnight open. So unless we gain some momentum here, Yeah. Yeah, and Q looking for low prices here. So yes, my follow. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we'll have to close this. Doesn't make sense to hold this. I'm glad I did a small size here. Shall we go towards these relative equal lows here? Because at this point we displaced below midnight open once again. We rejected the 8:30 open. We rejected 50% of the wick. Rejected the first quadrant as well. So yeah, hard read for me right now. So we came back for this reclaimed fair value gap. Yeah, we are ranging once again. We are back inside the range here. Below midnight open. Rejection at 8:30 open. Yeah, this to me seems like it wants to go lower. We have these relative equal lows here below. But at the same time, everything is balanced here. I'll try my last one here. Let's just see how this is going to react. Camera is not working. It is now. Yeah, not really liking this, honestly. Once again, taking too much time here. Wicking back and forth. Let's see if we can get some follow through here. So once again, 50% of that NWOG. would be great to see a new low. That would put us in at break even, at least. And I kind of like these relative equal high lows here. So I'm willing to give it some time. I just wouldn't like it to get above once again. So at this point, I believe this movement to the upside on the 15-minute, it seems to me that this move was an order block, a bearish order block. And now price should eventually displace lower. NQ already took the low. ES was not able to do it. That would be a shame. Let's see if we can get another run here. Since NQ is pushing lower as well. Oh well. I'm still interested to see these lows here on ES. Yeah, seems like we won't see those lows unless we do a U-turn from here. So price came once again for that end walk. I hope it kind of acts as a resistance because we still have these lows here on ES. So I'm still interested to see those lows being taken. Yeah, doesn't seem like it wants to go towards those lows. Yeah, It doesn't seem like it wants to go towards those lows. Was really interesting to see those lows. Eventually a little bit lower because we still have relative equal lows here as well. But, or this is some sort of a high resistance, or I needed to see some lower displacement because I don't want the price to be messing around here for too much time. Yeah, this is not giving me what I want, honestly. It's kind of a shame. Very thick market today with some sort of runs here, but the direction is not that clear, I guess. So yeah, and price is trying to get above that new week opening gap here on ES. Kind of left these relative equal lows behind, and it's now progressing to the upside. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, this is really a tough market. I could have handled it a little bit better here. Should have taken some partials as soon as I got my loss mitigated. Um, but at some point, I was convinced that we would go lower towards these relative equal lows here. So I guess I was a bit greedy as well. Your brother, on link. No, you have to calculate your risk every time you put your stop loss. So you have to have some sort of a spreadsheet where you know the exact numbers of micros or minis that you have to enter on each trade. You have to know where your stop loss will be and place your and put your number of contracts. So imagine that you would go for some sort of a short here, and you know that your stop will be 7.25 handles. So you have to have a spreadsheet where you put your stop size, and that will give you the exact number of micros that you will have. Imagine that you want to um, imagine that you want to risk only $100. It will give you the exact number of contracts. I guess only TradingView has that option where you put the amount that you want to risk, but it's not possible here. And I was just waiting for some sort of retrace here because at this point doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm just waiting, Javier, for some sort of a retrace and would like to see the reaction here at midnight open. Honestly, I kind of did a poor management here when I was in profit. Was expecting these lows to be taken here. So I didn't have the limit there, but I would have taken partials here, but it seems like yes, didn't want to go for those. Because at this point, we still have relative equal lows here, these lows here as well. Price coming for a retrace, or will it continue lower? Because right now I'm not sure about it, honestly. I would like to see it coming lower. Oops. Mm. Oh well. So yeah, at this point, I don't want to see it coming back above. So if it wants to go lower, it will go. If it wants to go higher, it will stop me out at break even. And I will probably end the day with a small loss. The link, you have to do it. I will. Let me just. Let me just see if I will be stopped out. But yeah, I guess I will. NQ is still pushing upside. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Just let me switch to the demo account, and I will. So imagine that you want to be bullish here, and you want to enter a long here, right? On your spreadsheet, you have to have the number of contracts that you will execute, because you can't do it manually here. You can do it automatically here. I mean, because imagine that I want to buy 5 micros here. You can set up the maximum drawdown that you want to enter, but it will always appear depending on how many contracts you are executing. Imagine you are executing 5 contracts now, right? So the stop is fixed to $250 as a loss, so it will appear here. But if you just take a 10, it will do it like this. So you, prior to the opening of your position, you have to have an idea about how long your stop will be. So, and then on your spreadsheet, you will put, I can share my spreadsheet with you if you want. Uh, just let me switch things up here. So, see, this is my spreadsheet here. And so you have to have an idea about how much do you want to risk. Imagine that you want to risk about $200. So you already know your stop size. And yeah, you just have to do something like that. And every time you have imagine a 5 handle stop, you can only enter 8 contracts. If you want to have a 7 stop size, you can only enter 6 or 5 if you want. I'm not sure if I'm clear enough for you to understand it, but that's how it works. Have you understand it? Did you understand what I just said? You're welcome, brother. Anytime. Anytime. So yeah, it feels like I did a bad management here, honestly. Should have mitigated the loss and not expecting price to come lower. Um, so this was my biggest mistake for this session, honestly. But yeah, sometimes things like that just happen. So despite that, I yeah, I probably did two mistakes here this long. Should have waited a little bit more and should have been a little bit more cautious since we were rejecting a 30 open just like this. Um Heading towards the macro. Then the short was clean, I guess. This order block price was not able to come and close 50% of the order block, so I decided to enter and was in profit, but kind of did a poor management. This this light is kind of harsh now. Well, if you do have to use micro, well, it all depends on your risk and your balance, honestly. I use micros on a $50,000 account where you can only risk about $200 maximum. Yeah, I would not advise you to go for the minis or even the real contracts. I would advise you to go for micros. So, well, guys, I guess that's it. Today we had a small loss, but yeah, guess it happens. Let's see if tomorrow we can eventually mitigate that loss. I don't think I will take any more trades for today since price is kind of ranging now. Um, so well, yeah, I guess that's it for today's action. So thank you for those who have been with me here, and thank you for those who interacted as well. Um, Stay safe, guys. I guess that's it. I guess that's it. So thank you very much for your company as well, and hope to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow at the same time, 9:20 New York local time, for the open. Okay, thank you very much and stay safe, guys. See ya.